Dr. K, thank you for allowing me to send you my presentation after December 6th. What did Jesus mean when he said in Matthew 5:17, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law of the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them." My scenario: the church that I grew up in, I was also baptized in that same church. The church is over 148 years old today. Granger Baptist Church was founded in 1866. While serving as a deacon and Sunday school teacher at Granger, one of the lessons that we were to go over for the following Sunday dealt with the Ten Commandments. One of the Sunday school teachers made a statement that we should forget everything in the Old Testament as it does not apply to us living in the New Testament today. I chose to use as my pastoral issue: does the Jewish law still apply to Christians in the 21st century? In Exodus 20, 1 through 17, God spoke all these words: "I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. You should have no other gods before me. You should not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven or above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You should not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations to those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord your God will not hold anyone guiltless who misuse his name. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. Honor your mother and your father, so that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. You shall not covet your neighbor's house, nor his female servant, nor his ox or donkey, or anything belonging to your neighbor." These words have since been embedded in our heart and mind. For many of us today, we call them the Ten Commandments. The purpose of this study is to take another look at the Ten Commandments. The law of the Ten Commandments is a law of God's making, a law of his own speaking. God has many ways of speaking to the children of men by his Spirit. This law had been given to man before. It was written in his heart by nature, but sin had so defaced that writing that it was necessary to revive the knowledge of it. Many people today feel that the Ten Commandments, the law as we know it, are no longer valid because they do not apply to us or to our current society. They look to the Ten Commandments as being outdated and full of provocative language, which doesn't sit well with their own viewpoint. The Ten Commandments are also considered by many people to have been abolished by Jesus when he made a new covenant between God and man with death and resurrection. But what did Jesus mean when he said, "Do not think I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them"? When the law was introduced, it was never intended to be an instrument by which man was to save himself, but an instrument through which man would be saved. In a very real sense, man is saved through the fulfillment, through the keeping of the law. When Christ fulfilled the law, he earned the privilege of life. Those who are in Christ likewise share in his righteousness and are declared righteous alongside him. In that sense, the law has always stood and will continue to stand. That being said, though, it is important to realize that we basically choose the law that apply to us individually or not. I think part of the difficulty comes when we try to separate what's in the Old Testament versus the New Testament. As to me, it is where the confusion come in by referring to the law and its application. I think it is important to realize the role of the law. When Jesus came to fulfill the law, he did just that. Notice he didn't say that the old laws are no good. He did not say don't worry about it. What he did say instead was, I come to make a fulfillment of it. God's standards has never changed. We basically choose the law that applies to us individually or not. Through grace, we can choose to be in Christ, or we can choose to stand on our own merits when we are judged. In that sense, too, the law still stands, and the law will always stand.